Hi my friends, Mark here, and I'm in my kitchen and I wanted to share this fantastic dessert with you, and it's a sweet pumpkin pie. And for all you Americans, I know Thanksgiving's just around the corner, so this is a classic dessert that you would eat quite regularly at Thanksgiving. And I'm an Aussie, so we don't do Thanksgiving here, but Thanksgiving should be every day. And because I love this pumpkin pie so much, I could eat this anytime, anywhere, any day. So this is just such a classic, and I'm going to show you how you can do variations with tweaking it here and there to give it a little different feel, a little different taste every time you make it, or to how you like it anyway. So let's go and do this sweet pumpkin pie. So here are the ingredients for our fantastic sweet pumpkin pie, and I've got some plain flour here, some powdered sugar, some butter and 2 egg yolks. And for our pumpkin filling, I've got some pumpkin, some brown sugar, raw sugar, some spices, salt and 1 egg, and cream. As always, the ingredients and the recipe is in the description box below. And so what we're going to do now is preheat the oven and bake our pumpkin at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. So we've preheated our oven, and I've just de-seeded this pumpkin, about 1.5 kilos of pumpkin or 3 pounds of pumpkin. This is going to be more than enough for our recipe. We're only going to need 2 cups of puree, but you could either steam this or roast it. The roasting will give it a better flavour, but if you steam it, it'll be quicker. So this is just going to go into the oven for about 45 minutes, and I've left the skin on. We'll just scoop that off when we take it out and it's cooked. So now we're just going to make our pie crust for the sweet pumpkin pie, and you could always buy some short crust pastry in the shops and do it that way, and that's very easy. But we're going to do it from scratch and have our own pastry, which is going to be a lot better. And I've just got 2¼ cups of plain flour with 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, and I'm just going to add about 175 grams or 6 ounces of very cold butter. So that butter's just come, and I've just cubed that, and we're just going to blend that up until it goes like breadcrumbs. So here we have our flour, and it's looking just like fine breadcrumbs, as you can see. And now I've separated 2 of the eggs, and I've just got the 2 yolks here, which we're just going to add, and probably about 2 tablespoons of water, and we're just going to pulse this to bring it together. And with the 2 egg whites that are left over, I'm going to use that with another egg in the pumpkin pie. So we just pulse it until it all starts to come together. So now we're just going to take out our blade, and we'll wrap up the dough and we'll put it into a boil. So we've just taken out this pastry out of the thing, we've formed it into a ball, and we're just going to wrap that in some cling wrap, put it in the fridge and leave it in the fridge for at least half an hour to an hour. So I've just taken this pumpkin out of the oven. It's been in there for 45 minutes, and I'm just going to take the skin off these pumpkin, mash them up and get 2 cups of pureed pumpkin out of this, and we'll go on to the next step. So I've taken the skins off that pumpkin, and as you can see, I've got it just roughly mashed there, and I've got 2 cups of roughly mashed pumpkin. I'm just going to add my 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of raw sugar, and I've got some spices here, and this is where you can really twist it to how you like. I've got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cardamom, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. But you could add some, like a teaspoon of ginger, some lemon zest, and even some star anise, you know, depending on what. And I've also got half a teaspoon of salt, which will bring out the flavour of the pumpkin. So, and we'll just get that all mixed, and then we'll add our cream and then our egg, and then our pumpkin mixture's ready. Okay, so as we can see, it's a nice smooth paste, and of course if you didn't have a food processor, you could do this in a bowl and just mash it really well. And as I said before, adjusting, you could put more cinnamon in, less cardamom, leave the cloves out, and you can really adjust it. Now I'm just going to add a cup and a half of pure cream, or thickened cream if you like, and I'll add my 2 egg whites that I got from the pastry, and 1 other egg, and I'm just going to add that as well, and we're just going to blend that up, and that will be our filling for our pie. And that's how simple this is. So that is our pumpkin filling, and I'm just going to pour that into a jug, so it's easier to pour into the pie shell, and we'll just go and roll out our pie shell now. Alright, so we've just taken our pastry out of the fridge, and I'll just say, if it starts to fall apart a bit, just give it a little bit of a knead together. The less you play with the pastry, the lighter it is going to be. So that's the main aim. So you just want to get a fine balance between how much you knead this together. And so I'm just going to get this so it'll just roll out to about, so it'll go over the rim of the pie shell. So it'll probably end up being 1/4 of an inch thick by the time the pastry's finished rolling out. And you just want to keep working it from side to side and try and keep the pastry as round as you possibly can. So I'm just working it from different angles. I reckon when we look at that, that is probably fairly close to how big we want it. It's going to go nicely in there. And so what I'll do now is I'll get the pastry, and we'll just roll it over the top of our rolling pin, and we'll just, it's really fragile because I want to keep this pastry really light, and if any holes get in the pastry, we'll just plug them up at the end. So now I'll pull the pan here, and we'll just pull this over, and we'll just paste this up along the sides. If I'd needed this more, it would have been a lot more strong, but I don't want my pastry to be, I want it to just fall, you know, break up in your mouth basically. That's how I want it to be. So as you can see, I've plugged up all the holes, and I could slice the tops off this to make it nice and even, but I want that rustic homemade pie feel, so I'm going to just leave it like it is, and I'm just going to pour my filling, pumpkin filling, and I'm going to bring this up pretty much to the top, and we're going to pop that into an oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius, and leave it in for 15 minutes. Then we're going to turn it down to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius, and have that in the oven for another 30 to 40 minutes. But check it. When it's finished, before you take it out, put a knife, and if it comes out clean, then it's cooked. If it's still a bit runny, then leave it in for another 5 minutes or so until the knife comes out clean. So here we have it, guys, the brilliant, fantastic sweet pumpkin pie, and I can't wait to have a taste of this. So I'm just going to dig straight in, don't mind me. The pastry is absolutely divine. It's very crumbly, light, and that pumpkin with the spices just playing. It's sweet but not too sweet, and just a really divine flavour through it. So I just can't wait to get into the rest of it, and you don't want to see me eat this one because I'll devour it very quickly. So check out markscuisine.com, and I'll see you next time with another fantastic recipe. Bye guys.